Today we come to the second half of Ephesians 6 and verse 14, and now we're looking at the next piece, which we're told to put on in verse 14. That is the breastplate of righteousness. Of course, we're told in verse 11 to put on the whole armor of God. Then in this verse, of course, we're told to put on the breastplate of righteousness in verse 14. The breastplate is one of the most critical pieces of a soldier's uniform and armor. It protected the chest, especially the heart, and without the breastplate, even a glancing strike could be fatal. When Paul calls believers to put on the breastplate of righteousness, he is teaching that righteousness protects the believer's heart, that's our desires, our inner desires, from spiritual damage. The enemy knows if he can corrupt or condemn the heart, he can weaken the whole person. But God actually provides righteousness as a protection, not our own righteousness, but Christ. And so righteousness, the breastplate of righteousness, has two dimensions. First of all, is the righteousness we are given. And of course, the main theme of Ephesians is our position in Christ, particularly in the first half of the book. But through faith we are declared righteous by God. 2 Corinthians 5:21, he made him who knew no sin to become sin, or to be sin for us, we might become the righteousness of God in him. This is salvation, justification, our standing before God. But then the breastplate of righteousness, the other side of the same dimension, is the righteousness we live out. That is our daily walk with Christ in us. We now should be pursuing holiness, integrity, and godly living. 1 Timothy 6, verse 11, pursue righteousness, godliness, faith, love. And that actually is a message in itself when you take out each one. 1 Timothy 6:11. Together these form the breastplate, confidence in Christ, and our commitment to live for Christ in our daily lives. Righteousness protects the heart because the enemy often aims at the heart with a number of strategies, but condemnation could be one. God can't love you after what you've done. Accusation, you'll never change. Temptation, it won't hurt to compromise. And shame, you're unworthy, you're a failure. But righteousness answers all those accusations with the work and identity we have in Christ. I am cleansed by Jesus' blood, not by my perfection. My identity is in God's grace, not my past mistakes. I am empowered to live pleasing to him. When the devil attacks the heart, righteousness absorbs the blow. Some biblical examples: Job, even under crushing loss, Job held to right living as righteousness. Job 27 verse 5, till I die, I will not deny my integrity. When Satan attacked Job's motives and character, righteousness protected his heart. David, after his sin with Bathsheba, David failed, but righteousness restored him when he repented. And rather than remaining in guilt, he cried, create in me a clean heart, O God. Psalm 51 verse 10. Righteousness doesn't mean never falling or failing. It means getting up and returning to God. And so we need the breastplate today when we're discouraged, when we're tempted, when we feel guilty, when we're insecure, when we're ashamed, or when we're self-condemning. Romans 8 verse 1 says, "There is now no condemnation to those who are in Christ Jesus." And yet at the same time, we're told in Proverbs 4:23, keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it springs the issues of life. Righteousness received and practiced gives us confidence, clarity, and courage. And so as we close, Satan cannot remove your salvation, but he'll try to attack your identity, revive your shame, convince you to compromise, and make you feel unworthy. God's answer is put on, as it says in verse 14, the breastplate of righteousness. You are covered in Christ and strengthened to live right for Christ as well. And so let's put on The breastplate of righteousness, the righteousness that we have in Christ, and also the right way of living in a godly and a right way before God. Thank you for listening.